What's good, YouTube? It's Bodhi here, and I'm here with my boy Gabriel, aka GforGamer,
manager of the Rogue Ronins.
Exactly. How you doing, man?
Doing good. Honestly, I should have played this today, but like probably next week I'll pull up with this. But this is my pure Adagnister deck profile. No Malice. I'm done with Malice. It served its lifespan for me. So yeah, we're gonna hop right in, man.
All right, let's start with the main.
Right. We're running the 3 backups. One of the best normal summons.
You want to flip it the other?
Yeah. Well, they all have the same art anyways, but yeah.
Yeah, but like put it like upside, like twist it like that way, so that way the viewers can see it perfectly.
Yep. Running 3 backups. A really good normal summon, just not the best thing you want to normal summon. We're running 3 Chi-Chi, the actual best normal summon in the deck. It gets you your entire engine.
That's why he's your best friend.
Yep. We're running 3 Picari. Picari is just a really good extender. Another good normal summon because it gets you into a Chi-Chi.
Right.
It gets you into some a lot of Adignisters. It's just that they all search each other like old school gadgets. Whoever played that long knows about gadgets, but yeah.
Hey man, you're talking about a veteran over here.
So we're running one wizard, a really good extender, 1 Doyoung, 1 good extender, and also recursion. In case you want a free discard. Running one Donmari. This is one of your Omnis.
Players, 15 minutes remaining in round 1.
It's one of your Omnis. You want to get this engraved, but you can have it in hand if you have backups as discard fodder. Running 1 Bururu. This just gets your Donmari engraved. It's also your tuner, other than backup. But Bururu is actually a better tuner to use, other than backup, because it can summon back the other monster you used to synchro summon. 1 Gichiri. It's a good one of to draw into. You're not really searching this. It's just good if you draw into it because it just gives you a free body and protection for whatever you link it off into. 1 Meowmine, just another extender, and then 1 Cyber Sage. This gets you into your fusion monster, which we will show later. But yeah, that's the main deck monsters.
The main Cybers monsters.
Yep.
All right.
Now, why did you add Kachiri back to the deck?
Oh, what?
Why'd you put Kachiri back in the deck?
Because the Gachiri is just having it's a good. Well, if you don't need it, it's a good discard. If you do, it's also another good good monster to get onto the field just to get more link climbing on.
I guess, yeah.
But yeah. Alright, as for the spells, we're only running 1 3-up spell in the Archetype 3-up spell. We're running 3 copies of I Meet You. I Meet You is just one of the best cards in the deck. It grabs your backup, it grabs backup, it grabs a Chi-Chi, it grabs Doyon, it grabs Gichiri if you need it. I mean, all things go south of you grabbing Gichiri with this, but yeah. We're running 2 islands. I originally had 3, but 2 is the sweet spot. But a lot of people run 1 island. However, I'll show you. But the reason why I'm running through 2 is because of a different spell. We're running 1 Eye Connect. This is just a good starter in case if you have 2 backups in hand, you can reveal backup, special it, then grab a Chi-Chi. Most of the entire deck is just getting a Chi-Chi into your hand, so you can start going off. 1 Eye Contact. One of the best Ash baits in the entire deck. Eye Contact. If you already have Ignister Island on the field and you have 1 in hand, you reveal it, put it at the bottom of the deck, then draw 3. You are going +1 in that interaction, but you are getting 2 bricks out of your hand for the
Price of 1.
Yeah, for the price of 2 technically, but you are getting 2 bricks. You get to plus, which you can use to draw into more hand traps or more interaction. We're running 1 Auto Reborn, just a quick play monster Reborn to dodge Bestials. 1 Fighting Spirit. It's another monster Reborn. It's just that's a regular spell. 1 Sidekick. This is your out to Dark Ruler to Droplet, because most of the time I never see anyone send traps from Droplet. And honestly, please keep doing that. I want to keep Sidekick live. Sidekick live. Just keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Okay.
Just only send that. All right. That's the engine spells. We're gonna be going into hand traps now. Hand traps, it's pretty standard. 3 Ash, 3 Fua, 2 Nib, 3 Imperms. That's my hand trap lineup. It's just standard stuff.
Why not Droll?
Droll is in the side deck because there's not every deck is main decking it. Not every deck is main decking Droll because it's not that great into most matchups. The only thing it hits is Mitsurugi. That's kind of it. And Vanquish Soul, but
it hits Vanquish Soul, Mitsurugi. Sometimes
yeah,
hits
but like
Yummy. Sometimes hits like branded Draco Tail, especially if they start with branded, then they kind of just then they lose access to.
It's really just like it really just depends on the matchup. But like if you draw during Vanquish Soul Canine, you just get Izuna live.
But also at the same time, then they're cutting off their entire Vanquish Soul package for a single rank 5.
If you go Droll against Mitsurugi, they'll still end up on Murakumo, Drolling Mitsurugi is just going to give you the win against them anyways, but Yummy, they only add 2 times in the entire combo.
It depends if they're playing it as like a subsidiary engine, or if that's their main one.
If like in the full Yummy combo, if they're playing a secondary engine, then yes, that can cut it off, but there are some people who are still playing pure Yummy. Even though pure Yummy is a bit more fragile now.
Another thing I would like to point out about Droll versus Yummy is technically if you were to Droll after they add Surprise to hand with the Cupsy, then most likely then they're going to be somewhat cooked on their end board. Because then they can't get access to Yummy Way, basically adding 2 cards. They just can't. So they do lose a lot of interaction there.
Mm-hmm.
But back to Gabriel. It's his deck list.
Alright, we're running 3 Sign Mining for a non-engine. 1 cross out, 1 call by. It's not much with non-engine. It's mostly just like regular Sign Mining, best 1 card, is like one of the best 1 cards. A lot of the majority of the deck is 1 card starters, which is why it's able to which is why majority of engine takes up majority of the deck.
And how many cards do you run in the main?
It should be 42.
42. Yeah. All right.
As for extra deck, the non-links we are running 1 Deceive Worm, 1 Firewall Saber, and 1 Code Igniter. For Deceive Worm, it's your Stone Trap Negate, and also has a secret effect to where if it's on the field, you can special summon a level 4 or lower Cyberse monster, and it becomes that level. That doesn't really come up that much because you're already gonna have enough material for almost everything at the end board. Firewall Saber is recursion and has the awesome effect to add back a Cyberse monster from the graveyard to your hand, and whenever it's linked off, it can grab an eye spell. For example, I can grab Eye Contact or Idol Reborn after I link it off to get more extension.
Or Sidekick.
Yeah, or a Sidekick. Actually no, hold on.
John.
It only grabs spells.
Under that table.
For Code Igniter, it's on summon to grab Cyber Sage. And then it has the effect to ritual summon by detaching a material and then fulfilling the ritual requirement from hand. And whenever it's linked off, it searches for an eye trap, which is how you get into the Sidekick. These are also they're all generic. Yeah, they're all generics for non-links.
All right.
For the link ones, we're running 1 Link Spider for Nib and 2 Infants. Infant is the most important card of the combo because it grabs your copy of Island. And Island, you need to have your main monster zones empty for it to be live. Also, one thing that a lot of people do not read about Island, it's not once per turn, it is once per attribute. Every time my main monster zones are empty, as long as as they're empty. I can special summon one level 4 or lower, add Ignister from my hand. That's a different attribute than the last one I did. Also, if you do like destroy island during the activation, as long as the monster never hit the field, I can declare it again to summon the same attribute. It only counts as soon as the monster hits the field.
Alright.
That's what I like about Island.
Yeah. For the Link 2s, we're running one Wicked and one Crystal Heart. Crystal Heart is just another extender to grab transcode back. Wicked grabs your copy of Breweroo or backup if you already have Breweroo. And that's kind of it. It just these two are just more for extension. The Link 3s, we're running one Transcode, one Decode Heat Soul, and one Dark Templar. Transcode, it's just self-explanatory for people who played Malice, just to turn the Link 3 into the Link 4, or just go more extension. Decode Heat Soul, again, Malice played this too. It's just to burn yourself for draw 1. Dark Templar, one of the most important cards of the combo. And honestly, it is like one of the biggest choke points of the deck, but it's fine if it gets hit. Because I'm Dark Templar, whenever something is summoned next to its zones, it can non-target special summon 3 add Ignisters from the graveyard. Meaning, if you bestial one of them, it can still summon 3. It can still summon 3 or 2, depending on what you do with the combo. Also, it has a different effect. It has a secret effect where if a different add Ignister battled, it can summon another add Ignister from the graveyard next to its Link, and then again it could just trigger it. But both effects are hard once per turn. But yeah, it turns it gets 3 monsters on the field. I have no idea why people cut this card to begin with. They are smoking something extremely strong if they do.
Okay.
For the Link 4s, we're running Access Code. We already know that guy, and Firewall Dragon. We already know Firewall Dragon. I wish that they never eroded this dude. This dude is crazy.
Yeah. Firewall over in Dark World FTK. I usually play that a long time ago. Anyways, let's continue on.
For the Link 5, we're running one Allied Code. Allied Code is the Omni Negate and Banish.
Wait, are y'all doing?
And for the Link 6, it's Firewall Dragon Singularity. I did opt to cut Rival Cybers because the Rival Cybers line is a bit even though it is really funny, it takes a lot of resources to do, and honestly sometimes it just doesn't feel worth it because you do get a 6k monster that can pop, but it is not a quick effect pop. And also it is just like a big tower, but also you don't really do anything else after that, since you kind of just wasted everything in your hand to get the rival onto field. Even though he's my favorite card in that, he's my favorite card, but just that he's just not worth running anymore, sadly.
Maybe one day you'll bring him back.
Maybe one day, but not today.
All right.
As for the side deck, we are running the 3 Perulius, 2 Droll Lockbirds, the one Ibly. Go ahead, judge me for floodgating, but it is a searchable floodgate because backup searches any Dark Cybers monster.
And she is a Dark Cybers monster.
Running the Triple Tactics package, and for the thrust targets, we have 3 evenly matched, 1 Black Goat, 1 Different Dimension Ground. Right. Different Dimension Ground wins me so many games just during the standby phase, because if it's against Yummy Sulfur they're just crippled. They are just crippled. If it's against Branded, they have to do a lot of different lines. They can't go into the Albion line. If it's against Dragotail, they don't really. Actually, yeah, no, Dragotail they do care because they need their stuff in the graveyard. Let's see what's another. There's also, there's Lunalight I mean, Lunalights around here, it's just not, like, in my opinion, Lunalight is not that great. It makes towers, but also like they kind of just like just like we saw in the World Championships, just roll them and they lose.
I mean, they can still try to play it out.
They can't really play it out because like again, just draw them and Perulia them, and they like Perulia, they have to play through Perulia, then you just draw them after you get 2 draws. Evenly is just really good because it's really good into decks like Yummy, into decks like Radiant Typhoon, Enneacraft, which will actually be a really good threat. Like after, I'm pretty sure Blazing Dominion is when they get the support. Yeah, but yeah, that's my Adignister deck profile. You guys are free to give it a try. I've had help building this deck with Dark Arm Duelist. Give his channel a look, and also please support him. We are not sponsored by him, and he is not sponsoring us. Even though that means the same thing, but like yeah. This honestly, like a lot, like this is probably like version 6 of my Adignister list.
Alright, you want to give any shout outs before we sign off?
Shout outs to the testing Ashton, shout outs to Marlon, shout outs to Bodhi who's recording. Shout outs to Yadashi's TCG Arena for letting us play here and letting us record. Shout outs to like honestly the DFW community for just being a great place to play Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, that's honestly it. Also, shout outs to the Achichis that resolve. Shout outs to the Achichis that resolve.
All right, thank you so much, Gabriel. And of course, this is Bodhi YGO. We're signing off, and of course, we'll see you again in the next time. Thank you.
Yep.